All right, everyone. So I made the decision to get rid of the aftermarket windscreen I had on this. And there's a couple of reasons why. If you notice in the background, my R6 has a Puge Z Racing windscreen as well. And one thing about the R1 is the way the fairing stay is set up. What you run into now, I've seen videos where guys are pulling, you hear a snap, crackle, pops. Yeah, a little nerve-wracking. So what I did is I went ahead and took it apart, and I'm going to show you the best way to do this so you don't run the risk of breaking that upper cowl, because that thing by itself is about $600. As you can notice, I already got the right side all tore apart. But what I want to talk about is why this is so hard to do. Get that out of the way. If you look down in here, you can see Yamaha incorporated the windscreen into the fairing stay. There's a little clip here that keeps it from coming up this way. But to keep it from going down, you got this clip here. What else happens, if you look at the gap between the fairing stay here and here, you can see there's pretty decent gap. So what happens is the aftermarket windscreens are just going to bolt here, and further down there's another little plastic washer, plastic nut, compressing nut basically. So you're losing this support. So what happens is your cowl tends to vibrate quite a bit. And I wasn't liking that too much. Also, you gotta be real careful with these double windscreens, because I'm gonna take you over to the R6. What happens was I just happened to park in the light the wrong way, and I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but it actually started melting the bezel of the cluster. Now, I have seen them, and it actually happened to a friend of mine with his CBR, where his actually hit the gauge itself and melted it. Luckily, you can buy a whole new cluster or just the trim pieces on this particular one. Well, with these TFTs, you can't replace pieces. You're just doing the whole cluster, and those things are not cheap. So I want to just take the chance and avoid that from happening. And all you really need to do is, well, tool-wise, quarter drive ratchet, pocket screwdriver, 4mm Allen, 10mm. You can use a short or deep, doesn't matter. So the first thing we're going to do is, and this is the same on both sides, there is a plastic rivet here. I've already popped it, so that's going to come out. Throw that in the tray. These are already just finger tight, so got the 4mm. Allen here. I'll get that out of the way. I'll drop that one. Okay, and then on this plastic piece, all you're going to do is just pull out, pull up, and you got all those little clips right there. All right, so next you're going to have to get this trim piece out of the way. And this is where it gets kind of a little sketchy, because you got clips along the bottom, plastic rivet, push pin here, just work back there, pop that, and then we'll try to get that worked out. So those are out. Now these are the tricky ones up here. Alright, so this one, we're just gonna, now there's a little pin up front here. You want to clear that, and then this is where it gets kind of nerve-wracking, I should say, because you got two little clips here. Just kind of wiggle, boom, there they go. That's out of the way. Okay, so now what we run into, you just got this one 4mm bolt right there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Now, one thing I want to show you is the harness for the mirror. You're going to want to get that off. So just, like I said, these have already kind of been loosened up because I've already just prepped this. What's nice is you don't have to undo that clip. This will come right out. You're going to have two 10mm nuts. Really need to invest in a tripod. Okay, so we got that. I'll just pop the mirror out. Yes, that connector will fit through the hole, obviously. Okay, so we're done there. So now, on to the next nerve-wracking part. Now remember, like I said, this cowl is not cheap. She does go for about 600 bucks. So what we're gonna do here on this is basically come up here in the center, kind of work that. You're gonna pop that clip out on the mirror, pull down, and then you're gonna have clips all alongside here. No big deal. Boom. That's all she is. Now, what I want to show you guys is kind of what I'm talking about. So there's the clips that they slide up. That's going to keep you from pulling the mirror out of this clip right here. You can see where it's recessed. Now, it's really tricky is when I watch guys do this online is they were trying to get that tab out so they could push it down far enough. Guys, it really doesn't take that long to take this off. Do it right. Take your time. That way you don't have to worry about breaking a $600 part. One thing I do want to tell you is the yellow on this, and I believe it's the same one on the R7, it's painted. That is not a sticker. So definitely be careful. I think that's part of the reason why it costs so damn much. So that's pretty much the way to do it. And there's go the opposite way. Now, would I recommend doing this screen? If you're doing track days, absolutely. But if it's something your daily ride and you do run the risk of messing up your gauge, and like I said, snapping this cowl. Hopefully that helps everybody out getting this thing off. A couple things, you know, I've done recently to it. Did do vortex rear sets. I'll get into why I like the vortex rear sets over a lot of the other ones. Ditched the previous frame sliders. Went with the TST, the Wilmette Tex, and you know, I got 3 different slider options. I'm going to show everyone. Hopefully that'll help you make a good decision. And then we're going to be doing 520 chain conversion. I'm going to do this lightweight rear rotor since I'm going to have the rear tire off. And then today I'm going to read, oh, one thing, the right side. This is a little pocket that Yamaha put on the right side for holding your paperwork. The problem is to get to it, you got to pull the right side panel off. All right, so I'm actually going to probably take this off because it does make it a little trickier to get out. Just want to make you aware of that. It does not serve any purpose. It's not easy to get to. Yeah, I'm gonna throw that in the OE parts bin. But tech spec. So the left side started lifting, you know, a few weeks after I installed them, and excuse me. Reached out to tech spec. They found my order. They sent me new ones. I had them in 3 days. There was no questions asked warranty. You know, I'm a big believer on customer service. You know, I'll keep using the same person over and over again, you know, because I know if they're going to take care of me that one time, they're probably going to take care of me every single time. That's why I'm a big fan of STG. So yeah, check out, you know, sportbiketrackgear.com. That's where I get a lot of my stuff. The only time I don't is if they absolutely do not have it in stock. So hopefully that helps get that front cowl off. You guys have any questions? I'm probably going to be doing a giveaway on the Puge. So if I get a 300th subscriber, you know, has an R1 that's interested in it, hit, you know, smash that subscribe button, help me out, and I'll get it to that 300th person. Hope to see you guys on the next one. And one thing I forgot to mention, if you look at the stock windscreen, which makes it difficult to get out as well, is you got locator tabs on both sides. So basically to get this to slide out, you will need to separate these to get them to release. So it makes it a little more difficult, and that's what I'm saying, guys. I don't know if I would do this on the bike, knowing how difficult it is to get this stock out. So hopefully that helps. Let me know. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.